From Interior Alaska's most trusted news source, this is the Fbx Evening News.
Good evening, Fairbanks, and thank you for joining us. Our top story this evening: trial has been set in the civil case of a man convicted of stabbing another man in a road rage incident.
Michael Bostic pled guilty to a reduced charge of first-degree manslaughter in 2012 and received a 3.5-year prison sentence in the stabbing of 55-year-old Timothy Lund. Bostic was originally charged with first-degree murder in the case, but the jury was unable to reach a verdict, and Bostic has maintained his actions were in self-defense. Lund's estate is now pursuing a civil case against him. Bostic was not at the trial date setting conference in Fairbanks Superior Court today, but the case was still scheduled to begin in June. Now, state health officials say a number of patients with confirmed influenza have been admitted to the Alaska Native Medical Center in Anchorage in the past week. Some are seriously ill, and one death has been reported. Officials at the center say the laboratory confirmed the death was from influenza. Original reports that it was swine flu were not confirmed, according to officials at the hospital.
A rapid test on this person indicated influenza, but the full testing results have not been completed, so it cannot be confirmed as H1N1 at this time. However, the Alaska Division of Public Health Surveillance indicates that the predominant strain of influenza circulating in the community is the 2009 H1N1, which is included in the current influenza vaccine.
Alaska Federation of Natives is speaking out after the state of Alaska asked the U.S. Supreme Court to review a case regarding federal lands and waters. AFN issued a release in response to the state's petition, saying they would fight their, quote, reckless attempt to unravel the precedent set by the lower courts, end quote. The problem with the petition, according to AFN, is its infringement on subsistence living here in Alaska. Alaska Natives feel by issuing this petition, the state is attempting to take that right to subsistence away from them, damaging the state's ability to conserve its resources. Those with AFN Subsistence Committee promised to defend the right of their people.
A structure fire in South Fairbanks caused some damage to a garage storage unit, but authorities say it could have been much worse. Firefighters responded to the call off of 20th Avenue around 1 o'clock this afternoon. The fire started in the roof of the building, and authorities say the owners knew about it immediately and called 911. Nobody was injured. According to first responders, fires of this sort are common this time of year, and homeowners should take precautions.
I can't speculate on a cause at this time. Our investigators are still looking into it, but anytime you have a fire around a chimney, it's often either a malfunction of either the chimney, failure to clean it, installed too close, problems like that. So we just always use an opportunity like this to encourage people to make sure their equipment's installed properly and checked. And if you have any questions, make sure you contact a professional, come out and take a look at them so that we don't end up visiting you at your home.
With fresh snow on the ground, again, roads were more slippery today. The intersection of University Avenue and the Mitchell Expressway looked like bumper cars with a 3-car collision. Nobody was seriously injured, but the driver of the green Saturn was extricated from her vehicle by University Fire Department and taken to the hospital. The driver of the green truck failed to yield while making a left turn when the car collided with it. The truck slid into another car waiting at the red light. Alaska State Trooper Michael Weary says drivers can reduce their risks if they plan extra time to get to their destination and drive slow.
You know something, if you're running late for work, you're running late for work. Call in, tell, hey, I'm running late. Do not speed to get to work because you're running late. So you're not thinking straight. You're hurried about trying to get to work because you're afraid you're going to get in trouble. And so your mind's not on driving. You've got to be 100% on driving, especially with these road conditions now.
The Fairbanks North Star Borough School Board had their first regular meeting with newly elected members, and on the docket last night were some concerning statistics. Members were presented with district-wide attendance data, and the number of unexcused absences was up during the first quarter of the school year as compared to the entire previous year. The district's attendance rate is already slightly below the Alaska average, which ranked in the bottom third of the United States for daily attendance as a percent of fall enrollment for the 2011-2012 school year. District officials say taking a closer look at the numbers is a starting point, and they want to begin addressing unexcused absences.
And it is, I think, important for us to use this kind of as a starting point to take a look at last year's attendance overall. And we've chosen through the current policy review process to address unexcused absences. I know that there is still a large number of excused absences, and that I think is something for us to look at downrange.
So Daryl, although Mike can't join us yet for weather, I think we're going to hit our negative digits tonight.
Probably feels like it out there.
Yeah, it definitely does. All right, well, he'll be coming up later, but when we come back, local women shave their heads for a good cause.
And the Alaska Department of Transportation have a new anti-icing practice. We'll have more on that. Stay with us.
And welcome back to the Fbx Evening News. Officials with the Alaska Department of Transportation Northern Regions have begun to use a new practice for the roads. Northern Region DOT teamed up with DOT in Juneau in order to develop a chemical that will be applied to roads before they ice. The purpose of the anti-icing chemical is to cover the roads which prevent the ice from forming and sticking to the roadway. This will reduce the amount of sand and gravel needed in the winter time and make for less slick surfaces on bridges and intersections.
Actually prevents frost events, and oftentimes it'll save us from having to go back and do a lot more effort, a lot more work to remove the snow after it gets here. It's very limited as to what we can do up here because of our cold winters. It can't be used in real cold temperatures, but it's something that we can do in our shoulder seasons in spring and fall, and when the temperatures warm up at different times throughout the year. Hopefully we won't get a rain event this year, but if we do, this will be something we can use in those conditions also.
AT&T has turned on its 4G LTE network in Fairbanks, bringing customers the latest generation of wireless network technology. The system was turned on today. Some of the benefits of the LTE include faster speed for downloads, streaming, and uploading, and new LTE-compatible devices like smartphones and tablets. There is also a faster response time to move data.
Existing smartphone customers or tablet users, they do not have to make any changes to their data plan, but do need to ensure that they have a 4G LTE compatible SIM card in their device. So we do recommend that they work with one of our customer service reps to ensure that they have an LTE mobile service plan and to verify that they have LTE on their handset.
3 women in Fairbanks have been making quite the buzz. How? Well, by shaving their heads for a good cause. We have more now in this report. That might sound like a familiar sound. No, it's not a barber shop. That's the sound of buzzers as 3 women who work at Fred Meyer's East shaved their long and thick locks for a good cause. It all started as a bet to raise money for the local American Cancer Society.
First it was if we reached 2,000 we would shave our heads, but then the 3 of us just started talking and decided, you know what, we're going to shave our heads regardless if we match it or not.
For many women, it would be a scary move, shaving off the hair that was mid-back length, but for these 3, it was liberating.
It was amazing. It was the most amazing thing I personally have ever done in my entire life. I would have never thought that it moved anybody, let alone myself, the way that it did. It changed so many things. It was amazing.
In return for their support of this cause, people have come out to these women thanking them for their participation. Also, Linden Transport helped them to match their funds dollar for dollar, raising close to $5,000.
They were all very supportive. We've had people come up and give us hugs. We've had people come up and tell us their story. We've had people that have cried with us. It's very moving.
Stephanie Woodard, News Center 11.
Soldiers from the Stryker Brigade at Fort Wainwright took part in Combatives Tournament on the Post last month. News Center 11's Monty Bowen has details now in this week's military report.
The members of the 1st of the 25th Stryker Brigade's Arctic Wolves were competing in modern Army combatives at the Post Fitness Center.
We're actually doing the Combatives Tournament. Pretty much to test out the skills that the guys have learned throughout the in-day program.
The competition is a major morale booster for the troops.
The guys that are out there on this mat right now are true warriors. They're demonstrating the complete ethic and mental fortitude it takes to close with and destroy the enemy.
It gets tougher for the participants as they progress.
The amount of intestinal fortitude it takes to get in that ring, even with an unarmed adversary, close with and destroy your enemy. It's a demonstration of exactly what it means to be an Arctic warrior.
Local businesses and groups help out with the contest.
And one of the local wrestling teams provided the score sheets that we used, or the score flip books that we used for the multiple mat iterations of the tournament before we got to the single mat. Also, for the octagon for the finals, once we get to that, that's the octagon that's actually used here for the local amateur fights over at the Carlson Center.
This tournament was the first brigade-wide combatives tournament since 2003 and the first ever to use the octagon cage. Monty Bowen, News Center 11.
The Military Report is brought to you by Stanley Nissan. Innovation for all.
That looked a little intense.
Want to try it?
No way.
Let's go.
I don't know. You might not be able to handle it. All right, so switching gears to something else that's pretty intense is Joe's sports, which is why he can't join us because he's always so busy.
Right, absolutely.
But tonight he'll be talking hockey. That's always good.
Sure.
All right, the Ice Dogs will be back in town while the Nannicks go out for a road trip to the Michigan Up.
That's right. Joe caught up with both teams, and he also has volleyball tournaments to share with you. He has all that next in sports.
Hello, Interior Alaska. Joe Cook here in the Sports Seat for you this evening. Hope you're having a good day. And now, your Thursday sports. The Ice Dogs are back home and will be for a little while. The Fairbanks Junior Hockey team will host 3 home series for the next 3 weekends. The players and coaches are more than happy to be off the road, losing 4 of their last 6 games, and those were road losses. They could turn things around at the Big Dipper with what could be early season statement series against top division foes. In-state rival Kenai River will be in town this weekend. The Brown Bears are second in the Midwest and had a recent 7-game winning streak and have Alec Boucher, the top scorer in the league. The Ice Dogs lead the Era Cup Series 2-0. Next weekend, division leader Minnesota Wilderness comes to Fairbanks. The defense has been there for the Ice Dogs. 6 of their 7 losses on the year are by 2 goals or less. The offense will need to show up in this home stretch for Fairbanks, but good defense can still lead to some easy offense.
All the guys work well together, so we're just taking our guys when we have them and just trying to get everything away from the net as much as we can. Just moving the puck up to the guys that are going to bury pucks. I mean, we got a lot of good forwards up front.
I've heard that we have probably the best D core in the league, and I think every D in this team is really good.
We got to score more goals. We've got to be committed to go to the net and make sure we have bodies at the net with the puck. And I think that's just our Achilles heel right now. It's hard to win games when you only score 1 or 2 goals, and we're out-possessing teams. We're, I guess outplaying teams, but at the end of the day, what matters is the result on the scoreboard.
And staying on the ice, the Nannick hockey team got a quick practice in on Monday before heading out to start what will be a long road schedule. 8 of their next 10 games are on the road. The first 2 are at number 14 Lake Superior State this weekend. The Lakers are 5-0-1 against UAF at home in their last 6 meetings. Lake State is led by freshman Alex Globke's 8 points and Kevin Kalpaka's 94% save percentage, which is 4th in Division I hockey. The Lakers also have former Ice Dogs Pete Sprady, Garrett Clement, and Jason Angus, who all have a point this season. The Nanniks could use this opportunity to take the momentum from Friday into Saturday. This season, the Nooks are 4-0-0 on Fridays and 0-2-2 on Saturday nights. One thing they'll have on their side is the play of their defense, which was highlighted by the return of Justin Woods, who played against Northern after missing the Mercyhurst series. He says this team can win on Friday and Saturday, but keeping things basic.
Just keep it simple. We're on the road. We can't do anything fancy. Just work hard, block shots, do what we need to do to win.
For blocking shots, it's just a mindset that we have that everybody's got to go out there and get in lanes and do whatever it takes to in the D zone first, and then from our D zone comes our offense. So everyone's starting to commit. We're getting 5 guys everywhere we need them, and it's working out well.
I mean, to me, we got to find a way to get points this weekend. I mean, last couple of years we've had some opportunities to get some points out of there and never came away with any. So I think that's the way you can see this league right now. It's tight early, and you got to find a way to get points every weekend to stay in the mix.
Finally tonight, a little preview of the high school volleyball conference tournaments coming up this weekend. The Aurora Conference Tournament starts Friday and has a championship Saturday. Valdez, Allison, Galena, and Delta make up the lower seeds. The Allison Ravens are hosting this year's tourney. The Monroe Rams with a 15-2 record are the number 1 seed. The Hutchinson Hawks are number 2 and handed the Rams their first loss of the year in early October. The top 2 teams advanced to the 3A state championships on November 14th. In the MAC, conference number 1 seed is West Valley. They will await the winner of Lathrop and North Pole Friday night at 6. North Pole is hosting the MAC tournament this year. West Valley went 10-2 overall and 6-0 in the MAC. Lathrop went 3-3 and 4-5 overall. While the Patriots didn't win a conference game this season, the MAC title game will be Saturday at 1 o'clock. The winner goes to the 4A state championship tournament. And I'm running out of time, but before I go, we have this week's Pro Football Challenge winner, and the winner is Patricia Potts. Congratulations, Miss Potts. She got 10 out of 13 picks right and gets an oil change courtesy of Stanley Nissan. Again, congrats to Patricia. And that'll do it for sports tonight. Thanks for rocking with me for a little while. For more KTF sports, just go to Twitter, YouTube, and Webster11.com. Get warm, Alaska. Mike Schultz is next with a cool weather forecast, and we'll catch you next time.
Hey everyone, welcome back into the Fbx Evening News. Mike Schultz with you once again, taking a look at the weather. A beautiful day today across the interior. The sky's cleared out, which means the colder weather is on the way. We'll be talking about that throughout the weathercast. Right now, let's take a look at our photograph for tonight. Our fab photo sent in by Dan and Lori Gerber. Fire and ice on the Chino Lakes area. You can see the ice just starting to form across the Chino Lakes area, and of course the beautiful sunrise there. Again, if you have a photograph to share, by all means send it to Mike Schultz at KTVF11.com. Speaking of photographs, well, they're out now. We have our new weather calendars. There are 12 places around town you can pick them up for free, including bulletproof trailers. And they've got some great photographs in there, and by all means some coupons too, so a lot of fun there. Get a chance and check out some of those places, and we'll be giving you those each night to tell you exactly where you can go. Again, the Fab Photo Calendar. All right, here's what's going on at the airport right now. 7 degrees after a high of 16 for the day. The low last night, 7. Record high 36 in 2002, 37 below in 1907. Sunrise this morning, 9:01. Sunset at 4:09, giving us 7 hours and 8 minutes of daylight, a loss of 6.5 minutes from yesterday. Big frontal boundary moving our direction. That's from a big storm sitting out over the Bering Sea. It's winding down now, but still pushing a lot of moisture our direction. And it should be arriving here by Saturday, the way it looks right now. Elsewhere across the state, you can see the snow showers starting to pick up around the Bethel area. Otherwise, clear skies everywhere else you look. Lots of stars here and there. And a little shower activity over southeast Alaska around Juneau and Ketchikan. Lower 48 weather. Again, things are pretty good over the western half of the country. Then you move to the east, you get back into a lot of moisture and a lot of weather happening there. In fact, it really shows up pretty good on the satellite and radar. One boundary, a frontal boundary right here, moving across the eastern half of the country. Another big area of moisture moving across the Pacific Northwest, and expected to dive on down and create a lot of snow over the weekend for many areas of the northern plains. As you can see why the jet stream moving directly west to east and keeping all that cold air to the north. Thank goodness, it's pretty Arctic cold up there around the Canadian border. Well, the rest of the country looks pretty good, nice and warm and dry. All right, back to Alaska for tomorrow. Here's what it looks like. Northern sections, blowing snow expected in the Barrow area, 1 to 3 inches of snow in Nome, and just sunny skies in Fort Yukon. Here in the interior, once again, clear skies, lots of sunshine here and there for Delta Junction, Healy, and Fairbanks over southeast Alaska. Looks like a mix of rain and snow in Juneau, scattered rain showers for Ketchikan. While out to the southwest, we're looking at rain and snow at Bethel and Kodiak, and rain and winds in the Cold Bay area. And over the south central regions, for the most part, cloudy skies in Anchorage, rain and snow showers at Homer, but sunny skies for Valdez. Okay, time once again for our kids' weather. And all this week, talking with the kids from Ann Wayne Elementary School. Here's a young man with a weather question for me.
Hi, my name is Vincent and I'm a 5th grader at Ann Wayne Elementary. This is my question for the weatherman. Where was the worst tornado in the world?
Well, the worst tornado in the United States was in the tri-state area in 1925. It killed 695 people, and the most intense tornado was in the Moore, Oklahoma area in 1999, with 56 people losing their lives in that one. Tomorrow night, the teacher will be sharing a unique weather fact with us. We'll look forward to that. And here's your forecast for the remainder of the night. 3 degrees below zero at the airport, much colder in the low-lying areas. And with the clear skies, auroras are a pretty good possibility, about a 3 on the scale that they have at the university. 12 degrees for the high tomorrow, lots of sunshine, but colder by evening. In fact, 12 below expected for tomorrow night. And the extended forecast calling for 10 degrees on Friday. Saturday, not too bad. Then more snow moving back into the picture for Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday. Overnight lows once again dropping down, pretty chilly, but rebounding a little bit, as you can see on the last part of the 5-day outlook there. 28 and 26 for the highs on Monday and Tuesday, and again, a possibility of some more snow in the picture.
I thought we were going to hit the minus.
We are 3 degrees below zero at the airport tonight.
Oh, okay.
That's minus.
That is 10
yeah.
below. So.
Like I said, if you live in Goldstream Valley or the Badger Road area, it's always going to be a lot colder there, so keep that in mind. But tomorrow night, it's going to it'll be a lot colder.
Oh, joy. Make sure you plug in, Joe.
Yeah. Me again.
All right, thank you, Mike. And that will wrap up this edition of the Fairbanks Evening News. We are always glad you could join us.
Tonight on NBC Nightly News, the Supreme Court takes up prayers at public meetings. That's coming up next with Brian Williams.
You can join us here 6 days a week at 6 and 11 or online anytime at webcenter11.com.
Now, last night at the West Valley Theater, they had the 9th Army Band playing some fantastic marches and everything else there. And I had a chance to get over there and see that, and we're going to leave you with some of that music to say goodbye. And we'll see you back here at 11.